As we delve into the unknown, remember, what you are about to hear is not just a story. It's a journey through the unseen corners of the internet. Welcome to the world of cyber warfare, a realm where battles are fought not with tanks and soldiers, but with code and algorithms. In today's episode, we will explore the hidden battles taking place in America's digital landscape, battles that could alter the course of history without ever being seen by the naked eye. Cyber warfare has emerged as a defining characteristic of modern conflict. It transcends borders and blurs the lines between state and non-state actors. The internet has become a battleground where nations wage war not just for power, but for information, influence, and control. With the rise of technology, the stakes have never been higher. Cyber attacks can cripple infrastructure, steal sensitive data, and undermine public trust. The potential for destruction is immense, making it imperative to understand the dynamics of this invisible conflict. So what exactly constitutes cyber warfare? At its core, cyber warfare involves the use of digital attacks by one nation to disrupt the vital computer systems of another, often with the intent to cause harm or gain strategic advantage. This can include a range of activities, such as hacking into government databases, spreading misinformation, or launching distributed denial of service attacks to overwhelm systems. Unlike traditional warfare, the effects of cyber attacks can be immediate, far-reaching, and often difficult to trace back to their source. The United States has been at the forefront of this digital battlefield, facing threats from various adversaries. Nation-states like Russia, China, North Korea, and Iran have all been involved in cyber operations targeting American interests. These attacks are often cloaked in secrecy, making it challenging to assess their full impact. For example, in 2016, Russian operatives were found to have interfered in the presidential election, using sophisticated cyber tactics to manipulate public opinion and undermine confidence in the electoral process. This incident serves as a stark reminder of how cyber warfare can influence democracy itself. The threat does not only come from foreign adversaries. Domestic actors can also engage in cyber warfare. Hacktivist groups, for instance, use hacking as a means of protest and to promote political agendas. These groups can range from loosely organized collectives to more structured movements, all seeking to make a statement through their actions. The infamous group Anonymous has executed numerous high-profile cyber attacks, targeting corporations, government entities, and even individuals. Their motivations can vary, but the impact of their actions resonates throughout the digital landscape. Understanding the motivations behind cyber warfare is crucial. States may engage in cyber operations for several reasons, including espionage, sabotage, and psychological warfare. Espionage is perhaps the most classic form of cyber warfare, involving the theft of sensitive information for strategic advantage. For example, the Chinese government has been accused of extensive cyber espionage campaigns aimed at stealing trade secrets and intellectual property from American companies. This not only undermines economic competitiveness, but also raises significant national security concerns. Sabotage is another tactic employed in cyber warfare. This involves disrupting or damaging critical infrastructure, such as power grids, transportation systems, or financial institutions. One of the most notable examples of this is the Stuxnet virus, which was reportedly created by the United States and Israel to target Iran's nuclear program. The virus successfully disrupted Iran's centrifuges, delaying their nuclear ambitions. This incident highlighted the potential for cyber weapons to create physical destruction and had far-reaching implications for international relations and the rules of engagement in cyber warfare. Psychological warfare is a more insidious form of cyber warfare aimed at manipulating public perception and sowing discord among populations. Social media platforms have become a primary battleground for this type of warfare. The spread of fake news, disinformation campaigns, and the use of bots to amplify certain narratives can shift public opinion and create division. The 2020 election cycle in the United States saw a surge in such activities, with foreign and domestic actors alike attempting to exploit societal fractures for their gain. This manipulation can undermine trust in democratic institutions and lead to long-term societal repercussions. As we navigate the complexities of cyber warfare, it is essential to consider the ethical implications of these actions. The very nature of cyber warfare raises questions about legality, sovereignty, and the rules of engagement. Unlike traditional warfare, where there are established norms and protocols, the digital battlefield is largely unregulated. This lack of oversight can lead to escalation, where one nation responds to a cyber attack with a counterattack, potentially spiraling into a broader conflict. The risk of miscalculation in this environment is significant, making it imperative for nations to establish norms and agreements governing cyber conduct. Moreover, the consequences of cyber warfare are not limited to nation-states. Individuals and organizations are increasingly caught in the crossfire. Cyber attacks on private companies can lead to data breaches, financial losses, and reputational damage. The ransomware attacks that have plagued businesses in recent years serve as a cautionary tale of how vulnerable we all are to this form of warfare. In May 2021, the Colonial Pipeline was forced to shut down due to a ransomware attack, leading to fuel shortages and panic buying across the eastern United States. This incident underscored the fragility of critical infrastructure and the potential for widespread disruption. In response to the growing threat of cyber warfare, the United States has taken several steps to bolster its defenses. The establishment of Cyber Command, a unified command within the Department of Defense, signifies a commitment to protecting national interests in cyberspace. This military branch is tasked with defending the nation against cyber threats and conducting offensive cyber operations when necessary. However, the effectiveness of these measures remains a topic of debate, as adversaries continue to adapt and evolve their strategies. Collaboration between the public and private sectors is also crucial in addressing the challenges of cyber warfare. Many of the critical infrastructures that underpin society, such as energy, transportation, and healthcare, are owned and operated by private companies. This means that public-private partnerships are essential in sharing intelligence, best practices, and resources to mitigate risks. Initiatives like the Cybersecurity Information Sharing Act aim to facilitate information sharing between government agencies and private entities, enhancing the overall resilience of the nation against cyber threats. As we look to the future, the landscape of cyber warfare will continue to evolve. Emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence and quantum computing will undoubtedly play a pivotal role in shaping the dynamics of this conflict. The potential for AI to automate cyber attacks and defenses raises new ethical and strategic questions. As we become increasingly reliant on technology, the line between civilian and military applications blurs, necessitating a careful examination of how these technologies are developed and deployed. The reality is that cyber warfare is a constant and evolving threat. It is a battle that requires vigilance, preparation, and collaboration across all sectors of society. As we navigate this uncertain terrain, understanding the hidden battles in America's digital landscape is crucial. The stakes are high, and the potential for devastating consequences is ever present. So as we conclude our exploration of cyber warfare, remember that the battles being fought in cyberspace are not just abstract concepts. They have real-world implications for our lives, our security, and our democracy. The next time you log on to the internet, consider the invisible conflicts taking place around you. The digital landscape is a battleground, and awareness is our first line of defense. Stay with us as we uncover the web's darkest secrets. Subscribe for more spine-chilling stories from the deepest parts of the web. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the hidden battles of cyber warfare.